And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by, because we have returned with our next series. Dark versus Alexander did wrap up, and I mean, it was going to be an uphill battle for Alexander. Dark did take down Alexander 2-0, and now we have our next series. It's going to be a ZvZ between Dark and Wayne. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, ooh, going for an extractor trick. We have the blue Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And we're going for a 15 hatch. Okay, so a 15-15 is coming out from our blue Zerg player. Interesting stuff. We have seen this build pop up from Ragnarok. For those who are familiar with the Korean scene and familiar with ESL Open Cup Asia, Ragnarok is very fond of the 15-15 in this matchup. With this, it is a relatively safe opener because you get it's a hatch first, yes, but you also go into a spawning pool a lot earlier as well. It does mean you have delayed gases, and this usually leads into roach play just because your gases are so late. So very late gases here from Wayne. So 2-base roach makes a lot of sense on Golden Aura. As we load into the map, and I know a lot of people haven't had the luxury of playing on the new maps, but to quickly go over Golden Aura, this is one of those maps that is very I feel like it's really friendly to 2-base play or even 3-base play, just because of the narrow choke point here at the natural, just because of how defensible this entire area is. So I do think that this makes a lot of sense from Wayne. He is now going for his gases again later than he would have liked. I'm assuming that he's going to be skipping link speed, but we'll see what kind of direction he takes us in. We'll see what kind of direction he goes in. On top of the narrow choke point here, and on top of the defensible natural and third base, the rush distance by ground is pretty short, very short rush distance by ground. So because of that, these pushes can hit that much faster as well. And we'll keep our eye on Wayne. Meanwhile, Dark, hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of Dark. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Going into his link speed timing at a regular time. He has his drones in gas for a bailing nest as well. And Dark should be working on a third. You know, Dark did see the timing of the hatchery. Meanwhile, I'm really curious to see what Wayne is going to be doing with this gas. Again, we already have 100. We could start link speed. But I'm assuming we're going to be working on a wall here at the natural. As slow links of Dark, they dip on forward, but they will be zoned away by these queens. Again, good positioning here by Wayne as well. He had a drone on hold position to make sure that nothing made it into the main, and nothing got a scout on what Wayne was up to. And with all this gas being banked up, obviously, again, it's 2-base play. We could even go for 2-base lair. Meanwhile, behind this, interesting choice, Dark doesn't expand. Dark does not take a third base, so it looks like 2-base versus 2-base play. Yep, there we go. Wall is being thrown down. We do rush into the lair, as we mentioned earlier. Wayne, he was just waiting for his queens to finish before getting that lair. And we are walling off. Both players, actually. So there are certain advantages and disadvantages here available. The first is that Dark, because he invested... No, never mind! Okay, I was going to say because he invested in link speed, he's behind. But he cancelled. Dark recognized that it was going to be 2-base play out of Wayne, so he cancels link speed. It goes for a faster lair, and we are keeping pace. Both players are keeping pace with each other. Yeah, really interesting how this dynamic is playing out, but this is kind of what I expect to see more of on a map like Golden Aura. Not just Golden Aura, but also, what's the other one? Rat Hazard Station, but that's a little bit different because you can take a bugger base. You can get a third. And from here, now the third base is being taken. Would you see the linear third here from Dark? Again, you do have a very narrow ramp here. It's very close to the natural base, very defensible area. Meanwhile, Wayne is going for his own third as well. Likewise, going for the linear base. Looks like Dark was in position to deny the triangular third. And the Link Scout does confirm. Ooh, brutal. Oh my god. Wayne was trying to go 2-base Muta. The Spire just got scouted by the Ling. Dark sees everything. Ay. Okay, so do we commit? The thing is that even with Aspire, we don't have to go like heavily into mutas, like 4-5 mutas. 5 mutas is ideal, just for map control, just to be aggressive and maintain control of the map itself. Meanwhile, Dark is going to be cutting workers. I mean, both players are cutting workers at around 45, and he's amassing roaches. Again, short rush distance by ground. I mentioned that earlier. Dark, he's not making any more workers. Evo Chamber is thrown down. Meanwhile, Wayne is saturating his bases. Oof, he's committing. His 5th and 6th gas have been taken, so it looks like Wayne does want to double down on heavy muta play. But Dark is coming. Dark is moving out across the map. Wayne also droned, so he has less army to work with. Looking at the unit side, we have 12 roaches against the 24 of Dark, and this may just be game. This one move out from Dark, it gets across the map very quickly, and there's nothing to defend. Immediately, the 3rd base is forfeit. Dark, he could have tried to go straight for the jugular, straight for the natural, but he's going for secure damage, going for the 3rd first. Before pushing on forward. The mutas, they have arrived, but Dark has an overwhelming roach army. Getting us over the queens, getting us over the roaches. It looks like Wayne should be able to hold. He will survive, and he survives with mutas. As Dark pulls back, he's going to be bringing all of his queens forward. 4 queens to defend with energy for transfuse. But Wayne, this counterattack's looking terrifying. That's a lot of roaches. But we have the high ground. We have the concave. And this is what I was saying earlier. Again, even with a lower army supply, because of these ramps, because of these certain locations, it's difficult for an attacking player to break this. Again, Dark is in position. He's got the concave ready. Mutas, they don't tango. They don't mess around with these queens. They're going to back off, go for the overlords instead. And Wayne is retaking his 3rd. Now, as the dust settles, Dark, I would say, is in a better position. Kind of. Dark has a better economy. Yes, true. He has, a bunch of upgrades on the way here to take advantage of the lack of detection. We have Tunneling Claws and Burrow. There's a good way to make use of these roaches. Very little anti-air, though. And Wayne, again, we mentioned earlier, because he took his gases here, he's doubling down and he's making a lot of mutas. +1 air attack is on the way, and we are doubling down on muta production. Meanwhile, Wayne still has a roach force to threaten the bases of Dark, so Dark has to be careful when he moves out. And there it is. Hydra Den is thrown down. Dark is going to be going Roach Hydra eventually into Lurkers if the game goes on that long. And Wayne is going to be threatening that main. Meanwhile, Dark just saturating his bases, taking his 5th and 6th gas of his own. Mutas dive into the main base and they will get 1, 2, 3 queens. Again, I mentioned before that Wayne did decide to double down on muta production. He takes out every single queen, takes down the Spore Crawler as well. And these mutas are getting out of control. Meanwhile, Dark going across the map. With a massive roach army, Wayne may go for a base trade. His own roaches are completely out of position and he's going in. He's going for it. For the 2nd time, this 3rd base is going to go down, but Dark does not turn around. He goes straight for the natural, takes down the Roach Warren, and pushes into the natural base. At the same time, in comes Wayne for his own counterattack for his own base trade. Dark does make it in. I love that. The Biles are focusing on the detection. I wonder if Wayne noticed. As again, the boys are being pulled. Dark, he slips into the main base. There it is. Detection goes down. Dark can burrow. Dark, he can burrow his roaches, and he does. Meanwhile, back at home, Dark losing a lot of workers himself. He's trying to hold on, trying to defend. But the roaches, they have burrowed. Likewise, Wayne getting a lot done across the map as Dark is going to be heading towards some of these other fringe bases. Wayne still has a hatchery up and running. Wayne still has mining going on. The mutas, they came back home. There's not enough anti-air. I think with mass muta, I think Wayne wins. I think Wayne has too much. He cleans up the Hydras. He has detection. He's focusing down the roaches as well. One base mining is all that Wayne needs. Meanwhile, across the map, Dark only has his main. I appreciate the bow. I appreciate it. Oh, but the roach goes down. More drones. 50 drones falling here for Dark, as opposed to the 39. Oh, 54. Gee, up 55. So it's 55 workers from Wayne going down. But alas, the mutas Wayne Supreme. Like, the mutas are too much. GG gets called, and Wayne takes game 1. GG. GG, well played. It was a big gamble. A very big gamble. The confidence that Wayne has. Okay, to wind it all back to what just happened. Wayne, he got scouted. He went 2-base muta, he got scouted, and he doubled down anyway. And he just went straight for +1 air attack. Remember, he took his 5th and 6th gas and went mass muta, despite getting scouted. And it was a scary moment, right? Like, Dark, his first push killed the 3rd base, but he didn't do more than that. There was potential. There was potential for Dark to maybe push straight to the natural, but no, Dark, he was taking it slow and steady. He went for the 3rd, then he backed off. And I don't think Dark was really expecting Wayne to double down and make as many mutas as he did. As a result, the queens were overpowered, the all-in was forced, and Wayne, he came out on top in said all-in. GG. GG, well played. The mutas, the mutas were too much, and Wayne is 1 game away from eliminating Dark from this tournament. Let's go. We're ready for it. I see in the chat, if Light had a wife, who would it be? Lady Gaga. Oh, you're an animal, Cyberjohn. Gah, papi, gah. And here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player representing Team Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. Here we go again. Golden Aura is a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to the short rush distance, because sure, it means that roach counterattacks hit harder and faster, but so do mutas as well. It goes both ways. Meanwhile, this time Wayne going for a hatch first, not a 15-15. It's going to be a hatch gas pool from both players. And now we can talk about Equilibrium, because again, this is another map with some unique features. That being, one, the Zelnaga in the center of the map does cover quite a large portion. Mainly it covers this attack path here towards the north, and just barely here, just under it as well. Both main attack paths are covered by said Zelnaga, unless you go the long way around. On top of that, we have gold bases. We have gold bases which with rich vesting gas geysers. And more importantly, this fourth feels really defensible here by ground at least, but short rush distance by air. So even though, like, if we get up to 4 bases, like, you can cut the map in half, you can be very turtly on Equilibrium. But before that, because of the short rush distance by air, muta play, not unheard of. Muta play could work well. The problem is that I don't know if Wayne wants to go mutas 2 games in a row. He found a lot of success, yes, definitely, don't get me wrong. Like, he did very well for himself in game 1, but a player of the caliber of Dark typically doesn't fall to the same thing twice. So it makes sense for Wayne to go for a very different opener, and yeah, I don't expect to see mutas this game. But we'll see. Again, hatch gas pool opener from both of our players. Nothing too crazy. We're working on Ling's speed as well, and we should be working on a third base momentarily. We'll see if anyone is crazy enough to go for the gold as their third. And I did see the pathing. Yep, Wayne, let's go, is gonna just spice things up, and he goes for the gold. Hatchery has been taken. Meanwhile, Dark goes for the triangular third base, a standard third base location here from Dark. Risky one from Wayne. And Dark spots it. He does see it with the Overlord. Solid scouting Overlord here from Dark, so it looks like we have taken our roles. Dark is going to be the aggressor, Wayne the defender. As Dark cannot allow this goal base to get up and running. It cannot be an option. And there it is. Lings are on the way. Bailey Nest is about to finish up. We have a Bailey Nest as well from Wayne. As I mentioned before, we are entering the Ling Bane portion of the game. And Wayne, he has to defend. And we'll see if he can. Because Lings are flooding across the map. Okay, Bailing's speed is now done. The Bailings will be morphed in across the map. There we go. The Bailings are on the way for Dark. Likewise, they are as well for Wayne. So they are as well for Wayne. Bailings have morphed in. They're going to be rolling on in. They're going to be rolling on forward. Ooh, not the best control here. One Bailing going down for free. 3 for 1 there. Dark coming up better. Does end up having a better trade. Another Bailing falls. Wayne a little bit wasteful here. Losing too much too quickly. Again, another 1 for 1 trade. Better connection here for Wayne, and Wayne does defend. Sometimes one connection is all you need, and Dark, yeah, did fumble the ball a little bit. Behind this, Roaches. Roaches are on the way. Wayne just transferring all of his workers over from his natural. This is looking like an all-in. Gas is being taken, though. Very good. Defensive Bailings have been spotted. Wayne going for his own scout. Dark likewise cutting workers here at 34. And Wayne, with the power of these Roaches, like, he does have an anchor point to his army he can hold. As long as he doesn't take a Bailing to the face. Up! Up! Again, a good target fire. Oh no! The Bailings go up, and Wayne will lose all of his Lings. And the Lings of Dark, they can bypass the Roaches, go straight for the main base. It looks like Wayne is being pulled apart. Sometimes one Bailing is all you need, and we had quite a number going off. 12 drones go down. This gold base is not going to be held. As I say that, the Roaches do clean up the Lings. The Lings went down in the main base. We're barely mining from this gold, but what's important? The Roaches. The Roach army from Wayne is still standing strong, and can Wayne pull this off? Uh-oh. Dark, he's in some trouble. He's bringing his queens forward. He has a spine crawler on the way. Bailing as well is. One of them is going to finish, the other not. The other does get targeted down, and here we go. Wayne pushing on forward, getting on top of the queens, getting on top of the Lings. He's going to get surrounded. Dark does get a surround here on Wayne. But alas, the kiting is just too good. Wayne keeping the pressure up. But more Lings are in production. We need Bailings. We need some defensive or reinforcing Bailings here for Wayne. Without them, he can't deal with all these Lings. But here we go. Reinforcements are on the way. More Roaches are rocking up, and despite not having Bailings, Wayne still may just have too much. Yeah, the Bailing does detonate here on the Roaches. Roach v Roach. The Queens, they're off of creep. They can't transfuse. And GG is going to get called. Wayne, he runs out of steam. Cannot break him, and Dark holds. GG. That was close. That was insanely close. Oh my god. Just a little bit more if Wayne had a little bit more available to him. When it came to resources as well, I was saying that Wayne needed Bailings, but he actually had 0 gas. Like, he was spending all of his gas on Roaches. Didn't have any left to spare. And he just barely could not break Dark. Dark came out with those roaches just in time, and we have an ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Whew. All good. And yeah, we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here. What's interesting is that this series is to determine which Zerg player is going to be the representative of Zergs in this tournament, as they are the only notable Zerg players left. All the others have been knocked out, have been taken out. So with the ZvZ, we have a confirmed Zerg in the semis, a confirmed Zerg player in said semifinals. The winner of the series will be going up against MaxPax. Oh, to be fair, the winner of MaxPax and Steadfast. To be fair. And here we go. We're getting into the final game of this series. Game number 3. And oh, let's go! Because spawning at the bottom of the corner of Alcyone, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right hand corner, the reason why I freaked out is because we have a 12 pool representing Starlight Twinkle. It's the blue Zerg player. It is Wayne. Alright, so the 12 pool is upon us. Now, a 12 pool is aggressive, yes, but it is not all in. There are all in variations of a 12 pool, like a 12-11, or a variation with a fast gas geyser. But with just a standard 12 pool, we should be taking a natural base, unless we pull the boys. 12 pool, drone pool is a thing. I do feel like the rush distance by ground on Alcyone is a little bit too long though, so I'd be surprised if we do end up pulling the boys. There we go, 6 lings are on the way, and we are expanding. So it is not going to be the drone pool variation. And the expansion is taken. So, for those wondering how this works. 1, this usually leads into a 2-base roach. The reason why I say that, and I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but the reason why is because we have delayed gases. When you 12 pool, there are no gases being taken here for Wayne, so no ling speed, which means you want to skip ling speed and go straight into walling off here at the natural and going into roach production, and skipping the baneling portion of the game as well. The other dynamic, as we wind it back a little bit, is these lings are designed to force a reaction and kill drones. They're designed to even up the worker count. Wayne, he is down 7 workers compared to Dark, and his goal here is to get worker kills and also force Dark to pull the boys, to force lost mining time, and to catch back up. And here we go, boys are being pulled. Dark cannot afford to lose this hatchery, and it's going to come down to the control, to the micro of Dark. So far, good drones really making use of the mineral patches. Actually, lings that do pop out as well. Oh, 1 drone does get picked off. Oh, but we get us around. 2nd drone goes down. And additional lings have arrived, and so far 2 workers is pretty good. Wayne would like a 3rd. Up, he barely does get one. 3rd drone goes down, and just like that, the worker counts are evening up. Whew. Again, it was lost mining time in conjunction with killing 3 workers does even things up a little bit more. Dark still has, actually I would say that, yeah, I think Dark is up 1 drone. Oh, but he does get a kill in the Overlord. I was about to praise Wayne, like Wayne had done enough economic damage to even things up. You can see that reflected in the worker count, but losing that Overlord is brutal, and 3 more Overlords are being made. Yeah, a rough moment here for Wayne. Something that you just can't afford to slip up on. As again, Wayne should be getting into roaches from here. He is mining gas. There are a couple of different directions we can go in. One is the standard variation where you wall off with a roach warren with an evo chamber. Or you could actually Gatling speed.